Njoro was a village of great wealth, surrounded by rolling green hills, mighty rivers, and thick forests filled with life. The people of Njoro were known for their hard work and unity. The farmers tilled their land from sunrise to sunset, growing yams, millet, and maize in abundance. Women sang melodious songs as they pounded grain, their voices carrying through the village, blending with the laughter of children playing in the dust. Hunters ventured deep into the forest, bringing back bushmeat, while the fishermen cast their nets into the great river, returning with baskets full of fish. At the heart of Njoro stood the great palace, home to King Oba Agumba. He was a wise and respected ruler with a heart full of love for his people. His wife, Queen Nena, was a woman of great strength, and together they had one son, Prince Ife, the future ruler of Njoro. The people of Njoro worshipped the gods of the land, offering sacrifices at the great shrine beneath the ancient Iroko tree. For generations, their land had known prosperity and peace. But fate had other plans. One year, the rains did not come. The people watched the skies, waiting for the dark clouds to gather. But the heavens remained clear. Day after day, the sun burned fiercely, scorching the land, turning the rivers into dry beds of sand. The farmers prayed and made sacrifices, but the earth remained barren. Cracks formed in the soil, deep and wide, like the mouths of hungry spirits. The leaves of trees withered. The wells dried up. The once mighty river became nothing but a whispering stream. At first, the people remained hopeful, believing the gods would soon bless them with rain. But weeks turned into months. The granaries became empty. Hunger crept into every home like a silent thief. Children's bellies swelled from starvation. The laughter that once filled the village faded into cries of suffering. The old people sat in silence, staring into the distance, waiting for the end. Fathers and mothers wept in the night, whispering prayers to the gods. It was then that the elders of the village gathered at the palace, seeking a solution. The council of elders met in the king's great hall, their faces dark with sorrow. The eldest of them all, Okoro the gray-haired, spoke first. "My king, we have waited and prayed. We have given offerings to the gods, but the rains have not come." The room was silent, except for the crackling of the fire. "We must act," Okoro continued. "If we do nothing, we will all perish." Another elder, Jemba the Harsh, took a deep breath before speaking. "My king, there is only one way left. We must sacrifice our children for food." A heavy silence fell upon the room. The king's heart pounded. The elders avoided his gaze, ashamed of the words they had spoken. Finally, the king closed his eyes and spoke. "If this is the only way to save my people, then let it be done." The next day, the terrible decree was announced. Each family was to bring one child to the village square at sunset. The air was filled with sorrow and despair. Fathers sat in silence, their hands on their heads. Mothers held their children tightly, unwilling to let go. Some families tried to flee into the forest, but hunger always forced them to return. That evening, the first child was brought forward. A boy of 6 years old, the only son of a poor widow. His mother wept and screamed, but the elders turned their faces away. The child was sacrificed. That night, the village had food. But at what cost? One by one, families gave up their children. The people hated what they had to do, but hunger had made them blind. Days passed. The cries of children faded, replaced by silence. But the famine did not end. The land remained cursed. And then, one evening, the elders came to the palace. "My king," said Elder Okoro, "we have all given our children. It is your turn. Prince Ife must also be sacrificed." The king's heart shattered. His only son, the future of Njoro. Queen Nene fell to her knees, holding their son close. "My king, please. You cannot do this," she said. Outside the palace, the people gathered, their eyes filled with anger. "If our children must die, why should the prince live?" they shouted. The king stood tall, his voice like thunder. "I will not kill my son," he declared. The village erupted in rage. They gathered their weapons. That night, war came to Njoro. The king and his family fled into the dark forest, chased by the angry villagers. For days, they wandered, facing wild animals, lurking in the shadows, cold and hunger with no food or water, spirits whispering in the wind, testing their strength. They finally found an old wise man named Baba Inu. "Oba Agumba," Baba Inu said, "you were right to save your son. Killing the innocent is never the answer." "But what can we do?" the king asked. "There is a hidden river beneath the ground," Baba Inu said. "If you dig deep, you will find it. But first, you must prove your worth." The king was given 3 tests. 1. The test of strength. He had to lift a great rock, proving he was strong enough to lead. 2. The test of wisdom. He had to answer a riddle about life and death. 3. The test of sacrifice. He had to give up his royal robe and become like a common man. He passed all the tests. Then, with the help of the villagers, they dug deep into the ground. Days passed, and finally, water burst forth. The famine ended. The people of Njoro never forgot the king's wisdom. They made a new law. No innocent life shall be taken for the sake of survival. There is always another way. Prince Ife grew to be a great ruler, one who never forgot the price of wisdom. Let us all know, when times are hard, do not turn to evil. Seek wisdom, and you will find a way. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments box below. And if you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.